Hello, everyone. What if we're looking at this all wrong? Now, what am I referring to? The Jeffrey Epstein, the list. Okay, Donald Trump was his grandfather, his father, they owned brothels. And they became pretty wealthy. And how did they become wealthy? I mean, could it have been from politicians? Politicians with money? And how? Did he blackmail these politicians by catering young children to them? And then required a lump sum to keep quiet? So are we looking at all this wrong? Now remember, this young girl that Jeffrey Epstein looked at that happened to work for Donald Trump, that Donald Trump turned around and said, you're going with Jeffrey, and you're going to travel and be Jeffrey Epstein's masseuse. And this girl, mind you, she was a young girl. So could it have been that Donald Trump sent the young girl so that Jeffrey Epstein could have his way with her and then blackmail him? Have her record what he did? So could it be that Donald Trump, the reason that he's in this position and nobody does anything to him, was because he catered children of all ages, whatever they want, to politicians around the world, and recorded them to blackmail them? Could it be that he blackmailed Jeffrey Epstein to blackmail these other politicians, kings and queens, political figures, actors, actresses, and had Jeffrey Epstein record them to later on blackmail them to later on get his way? I mean, is that too much spitballing here? Is that too much to be so far-fetched? Could it be that he's got all these people by the cojones and he is blackmailing them? Hey, you remember this movie, The Skulls? How this one senator was with a young girl and he voted against this other guy, and he showed him pictures of this young girl and says she likes to have popsicles after sex. A young girl. So he says, shall we vote again? And then he won the election, right? As far as, because mind you, as bonesmen, as Freemasons, it's not the majority. All it takes is one person to blackball you, and you're not getting in. I myself, when I no longer participate in it, but I'm going to let you know a little secret. I did become a Freemason in Ketchikan, Alaska, in Ketchikan Lodge 19. Now, when they vote, see, I didn't get to see all the voting until I became a Master Mason. All that time I was hoodwinked, I was doing all this and that. Once I became a Master Mason, I got to see everything that I didn't see before, and I got to vote. And it wasn't the majority. All it took is one, because this is a brotherhood. So you're protecting your brothers on who can and can't come in. So if you vote no and they'll ask you why, and then you explain to them, why your reasoning is not to allow this person. It's not the majority. All it takes is one person. Either the square or the compass, one way or the other. You can be blackballed. So if you looked at how everybody, they all voted the same except for one person in the Skull and Bones. As Bonesmen, they all voted, and it was only one that said no. So it's not the majority. So, what I'm saying, could it be that Donald Trump blackmailed Jeffrey Epstein using this young girl because he had ties with people that probably Donald Trump couldn't get to? Or people that he already got to, his grandfather and his father, who already said, hey, and they were already blackmailing them. So Donald Trump just learned the trade and how to blackmail people to get his way. Is that too much to consider? Could it be that he's the mastermind? You know? That he was the mastermind behind all these things? Now, see, now he's coming into the picture after the fact. And just coming in like, whoa, what happened? What was going on? I mean, do the math. Senators, politicians, kings, queens have always been blackmailed. And it just always happened to be with sex. You see all the scandals in the movies and history and all that stuff. And it's always with young men and women, children. Just think about it. Could it be that Donald Trump blackmailed Jeffrey Epstein to also blackmail other politicians, political figures, kings, queens, to get his way now, to be where he's at, because he would be like, okay, you don't want me to be president? You blackballed me. Come into my chambers and I have this video on you with this child. Should we vote again? Stay tuned for more information.